Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, my name is Sheila. I'm so happy to have you here with us today because we are doing my February goals check-in video, which I do these every month. Halfway through the month, we check in on how my goals are going and look at my Power Sheets tending list. So these videos really are to help me hold myself accountable and to hopefully inspire, motivate, and hold you all accountable. So let me know down below if you are a Power Sheets user and if these videos resonate and are helpful for you. Let's jump into the video. I have my Power Sheets, I have all of my accessories. I'm gonna flip you around. If you've been here before, you know the drill, and if you're new, welcome. So let's go do my goal check-in. All right, friends, here is the full view so you can get a Power Sheet tending list at a glance before I actually zoom in. And one thing you might notice is that I haven't teared out my tending list for this month. So that's something I'm trying out since I moved my workspace into a different room. That is kind of where I'm always at, like it's by the couch and I'm always hanging out in here. I'm able to have my Power Sheets like in one place rather than going from room to room. So before I tore it out and was putting it in my weekly planner because I just wasn't looking at it because it was in a different room. And I didn't really make it a habit either to check in on it. So now this month around, I've been able to really check in with it at the end of the day before I kind of go to bed, and I just, you know, check off anything that needs to be checked off. So we're trying it out because, you know, we're all about experimenting. So let's zoom in to my monthly goals and see how I am doing. Okay, so how are we doing? So I do have some progress that I have already filled in, but I think I need to do some updating as well. So my first goal is to publish 12 videos on YouTube this month. I made that goal to kind of push myself to post 3 times a week because last month my goal was to post 8 videos for January. So I wanted to push myself a little more just to, you know, see how I would do. And that means I needed to post 3 days a week. So what happened was the first week of February, I only posted twice. And so technically I am behind a video if I wanted to stick to my 3 video a week uploading schedule. So I can either just keep on trucking away with that and I'll end up posting 11, or maybe I'll get super inspired and I'll post a video, you know, post 4 times a week or something. We're still just going with the flow with that. I don't want to push myself to do anything I don't want to do, but so far I have posted 5 videos now that we're the halfway mark of February, so we can fill this into almost halfway. We'll do there, which is very exciting. All right, my next goal was to pay an extra $450 on my car loan, which is a finance goal. I usually make my payments after I get paid, and I got paid on the 10th and I haven't made my payment yet, so I need to do that. Actually, I wanted to get that done before I made this video, but I haven't done it, so here we go. Reminder to myself to pay that. And I'm actually gonna pay a little more than that. I budgeted $500 to pay extra on that, so I need to do that pretty much after I get off this video to hold myself accountable. But that is definitely going to happen. So I'm gonna like put that with a halfway point because at least I have the money budgeted for that. I just need to actually go in and make the payment on it. My next goal was to create my monthly budget in YNAB. That's just another finance goal that helps me stay on track with my overall finances. YNAB is You Need a Budget, which is a app that I use for budgeting, similar to Mint or EveryDollar. I just really love the YNAB app. So I already did that like the day after I got paid on the 10th. So we got that done. My next goal for the month was to read 2 books. So I am almost done with my first book, which is Jade War. I want to film a reading vlog for that. I think I'm going to start filming it this weekend. And then I'm almost finished with that. And then I want to read another book. I wanted to read The Vanishing Half as my second fiction book for this month, but I also wanted to start reading, let me grab it. But I wanted to read this book too. I'm going to film like a study with me video similar to a reading vlog, but where I'm like taking notes and then highlighting things and sharing takeaways and lessons. And I actually started reading this already, as you can see, and I am loving the way it's written. But this is a nonfiction book. It's a history on Black women in the early 20th century in Philadelphia and New York, and just how they're highlighting the stories of their lives in a world where they were now free, because slavery ended, but didn't really end. It just took on a new way, a new system. So this explores different women in history, and I'm really excited to read this and share this with you all. But I don't know, I still want to read this, but also I want to read The Vanishing Half, so maybe I'll read both. Who knows? But I know that I'm almost done with Jade War. This hasn't really changed. And then I'll just need to read my second book. So I am on track with that, which is good. All right, my next goal was to read one book of the Bible, which is Exodus. That corresponds with my yearly goal to read 12 books of the Bible. And I just realized that I haven't gotten out my goals at a glance sheet, because I always get that out for these videos for anybody that's new around here to kind of get a sneak peek at my goals at a glance. So you can kind of see that, and I do color code. So all the colors correspond with the goals. The yearly goals correspond with my monthly goals and power sheets and the tending list. So if you're new around here, that's kind of how I do that. So I'll, you know, pop this in ever so often. But you can also check out my 2021 goal video where I sit down and actually go through all of my power sheets prep work and walk you through that and share my goals in more detail if you're interested. So yeah, I'm almost halfway through Exodus. I'm pretty much on track, and since it's halfway through the month, I ideally would want to be halfway through the book, but I am gonna have to kind of like double up and read a bunch on certain days, because I only do my Bible study 2 to 3 times a week. I did some chapters today, so I was able to get a little farther than I have been. So that one is on track. My next goal was to complete my February tending list, which is just the peachy color corresponds with my wellness goal to just take care of my body, mind, and soul. And doing my power sheets every month really helps with my mental health, which is why I put it on here and also give it a peachy color. So I already finished that. My next goal is a workout goal to work out 3 to 4 times a week, again, corresponding with my body, mind, and soul goal to take care of myself. And I would say this is going well. So ideally, I thought about breaking down the different, the goal progress bar into like 4 chunks, because there's 4 weeks in February, and that will denote each of the weeks where I want to work out 3 to 4 times. So I need to work out today, and then I will have officially gotten this week done. And then I'm also putting my workouts down here, as you can see, but I'll get to that in a minute. So right now I don't need to color anything in here, but when I work out tonight, I will be able to fill that into the halfway point, and then I'll be halfway through my workout goal, which is very exciting. If you've been around here, you know I've been struggling with getting back into a consistent workout schedule, and I feel like I've gotten somewhere, and the whole thing is just my mindset around it, which I knew was always holding me back. I just was never motivated to work out and just never wanted to put my workout clothes on. But now I actually get excited and crave workouts, so I feel like that's a huge shift for me, and I'm very excited and just running with that momentum. So that's exciting. All right, my next goal is a relationship goal, which is a Valentine's Day date with George. Right now it's February 12th. We're planning to have a date night this weekend and just spend a lot of time together for Valentine's Day. And we're going to have a board game night. If you were here for my last tending list for January, one of my goals was to have a board game night with George, and we didn't hit that goal because we didn't get a board game. But now I can say that we have a board game. We got Mysterium, and I did a little bit of an unboxing in my latest video, if you are interested in seeing like what's inside that game. And I think I might do a vlog where we set the game up and play the game and all of that. So board games are just something we're trying to get into because it's a very quarantine friendly game, and Mysterium specifically, you only need at least 2 players, so you don't need a large group or invite people over. So if you're just being quarantined at home with, you know, a roommate or your partner or a sibling, you can play with just 2 people, which is great. So recommend checking out that game if it sounds interesting and you're looking for some board games. Also, feel free to suggest any board games down in the description. I got some board game recommendations on my last video, which was great. I love any kind of recommendations, so they are welcome. So we can say that I actually think I will color this one in just a little bit because we got the board game and we have plans. And that's just kind of like a tip with like progress. Like the question with goal setting is, how do you measure progress, you know, on things where there isn't a tangible result, you know, like with, and I think you can really measure progress by planning and getting things scheduled, which definitely helps with your mindset and motivation. At least it does for me. So if you can set a date for something that's on your tending list, or you can plan or take little baby steps or make an outline or something, that is still progress, and that is worth filling in your progress bar, tending list speak, but also just if you're measuring progress in a different way with your goals, that is a great way to kind of be like, hey, I'm on track, I'm making progress. Because with goals, it's not about the destination. Like, it's great to reach your goals, but it really comes down to the day-by-day habits and action steps that you are taking to help you get there, and enjoying it in the process. By the way, my priority this month is to live in the present moment, which corresponds with my word of the year, which is presence. So, doing our best to live in the present moment, especially during these dark winter times. We got like 15 inches of snow last week, and we're supposed to get so much more snow. So I'm really just over the cold and the snow and just not being able to go outside. But I'm telling myself that I need to cherish these moments, because there is a lot of positives that come with winter, where I really just look at it as a hibernation period to lay low, recharge, and prepare well for the spring and summer months. Maybe you needed to hear that. I know I did. All right, my next goal, my next goal is a finance goal, which is to complete my emergency fund, and I needed to add $200 to complete that, and I have officially completed my emergency fund, guys, which is so exciting. Yay! So I'm like loosely following Dave Ramsey and his 7-step baby step process or whatever. So now that I have saved up my emergency fund, I can really double down on paying off my next debt, which is my car, which up here, as you can see, is I am already kind of doing that, which is very exciting. So stay tuned, subscribe if you want to see more of my debt payoff journey. I just document it in my tending lists. And my last goal was to buy a new vlogging camera, which I already did. I'm actually filming on it right now, which is super exciting. I love it so much. I have a video where I kind of show you my first impressions and just get used to using it, so I'll link that above. It's my last video if you haven't seen that. But I am so excited. I saved up for it, budgeted for it, and got it this week. I love it so much, and I'm just really excited to film more and take it with me places. So let's move on to our weekly action steps, which I don't think, let's see. Okay, so I want to read 3 to 4 times of the week. I did that this week. I've read 3 days so far, and I have the whole weekend to read some more. So I feel like I may need to up that reading goal next month and maybe push myself to read like 5 days a week. Also, I think a big theme going into January and February is just kind of easing in and not overexerting myself with goals, because I feel like I'm very on track with everything, but that's because I've been able to set goals that I know are achievable for me, and they only stretch me a little bit. I would say the only stretch goal on here is my YouTube video one, and I'm okay with that. I want to gradually add in stretch goals. I don't want everything to be like super intense, like pay $1,000 towards my car. I would consider that a very stretchable goal. So to get into the motivation and the momentum of like being in tune and in line with my goals and action steps, I just need to have baby steps. So as the months progress, I may increase and make them a little more stretchier, so to speak, and really just to push myself. But for now, and I think another stretch goal would to work out like 5 times a week. That is something right now I don't think I would be able to commit to, because I just know I won't be able to fulfill that, which is why I'm not saying I'm gonna work out 5 times a week. I'm putting goals on here that I know I can achieve. So if you are struggling to hit your goals this month or last month, check in with just your why for the goal, and if it really is manageable for you. Like, do you have time for it? Can you commit to it? Is your mindset there? Do you have the resources for it? Resources being time, money, and energy. So check in with yourself on your goals if you aren't hitting them or on track with them, because that might be one of the things to help you, you know, change them or just get rid of them entirely. Anyway, back to our weekly action steps. So we got my reading weekly actions for this week, weekly Bible study on the weekend. I was able to do one today, which is exciting. We can check that off. So technically we're in the second week of February. So these just all mean I'm theoretically caught up. Date night with George. We had that on Wednesday, which is our AEW Dynamite night. We're going to have another one this weekend for Valentine's Day with the board game, which I'm very excited about. The next one is my workout 3 to 4 days a week. Like I said earlier, I need to work out today and then I'll be able to check this off. But for now, we'll leave it blank. And now we're moving on to daily actions, aka my habits. So everything on here is pretty much the same as January. If you saw there, just some, yeah, pretty much all the same. And as you can see, the only place where I'm struggling is, again, waking up before 7 a.m. And I feel like I'm going to make another video on energy management and how I've been struggling and dealing with having low energy. And this kind of ties into that. I'm tracking my energy. Like, I tend to struggle with feeling really fatigued in the afternoon, like after lunch, which is like the afternoon, you know, the afternoon slump that so many people struggle with. Let me know down below if you struggle with that too. So I'm kind of tracking what I eat, what time I wake up, my period, like my cycle, and what I'm doing every day to kind of notice any patterns and just see how I can kind of prevent that afternoon slump. So I'm going to make an entire video on that journey. And I just want to let you all know, like, for the sake of this video, that waking up before 7 a.m. I feel like has been very difficult for me because it's just not in line with my circadian rhythm. My body responds better if I wake up after 7 a.m. And the only reason I wanted to wake up earlier is to start my day earlier so I can end my day earlier. But I'm finding that my body just isn't in sync with that, and I'm learning to be okay with that. And I think also with the culture of, you know, 5 a.m. morning routines, and it's cool to wake up early, and if you wake up or sleep in late, you're a bad person or you're lazy. Like, those thoughts still poison my mind when it comes to waking up early. And also at my previous job, I woke up at like 6:30 or 6:15 every day, 5 days a week, because I worked at 8 a.m. But now my schedule is a lot more flexible. I don't have to be at work or start work at 8 a.m. I can start a lot later. So I am able to sleep in. So really this just comes down to reconciling my desire to wake up earlier, because why? And, you know, those are things I'm working through, and just I'm becoming more aware of what my body wants and being okay with that, which means sleeping in and waking up at 7 a.m. And I think that's still fine. Like, waking up at 7 a.m. is still early, but in my mind, it's not early enough. So I'm like working through my mindset on that. So that's like the only really thing I want to touch on here. My water goal is going well. There are some days where I didn't hit my 64 ounces, but I think, you know, this past week I've been drinking a lot of water, and I'm finding that it's easier for me to drink more water when I'm working at home versus being at the archives, because I'm like on my feet, I'm wearing a mask, I'm doing a lot of stuff, versus when I'm at my desk, there's a water bottle in front of my face and I can literally just sip on it like while I'm typing. So just like recognizing those patterns and just putting in the effort to drink more water on days where I struggle. So it's all about just noticing your own patterns and habits and figuring out ways to adjust them in micro ways so you can gradually get into a better habit. And again, yoga, meditation, journaling, scripture time, gratitude, those are all just things that are part of my morning routine. So those are very easy for me, and that's how I start my day. And I just like to track them, because sometimes I wake up and I don't want to do yoga, or I'll do yoga and I want to skip a meditation, and knowing that I have them on my pending list and the fact that I want to check them off holds me accountable to be like, all right, we're doing a meditation today. If I don't want to do 10 minutes, I'm going to do 5 minutes, and I do them. All right, friends, here's the completed, updated goal check-in tending list halfway through the month, and we're on track. I'm excited. I'm very proud of myself. I'm really, really proud of myself for the workouts, because that's probably been the worst struggle of the past like 6 months of my life. I would even say past like almost a year, ever since going into quarantine. And I think the only thing I really need to improve on really is like the YouTube thing. And I will say, like, after I set this goal, it was a stretch goal for me. I needed to sit down and take time to plan out my video schedule to actually make sure that was something that I could actually hit. So that's kind of like another thing to consider when you're setting goals. It's just don't set a goal and leave it there. You need to have action steps planned out and actually look at your calendar and ask yourself, do I have time to work on this, to actually, you know, put time and energy into making this happen? And if I don't, then it's not a goal for me. It's just not the right time, not the right season, and that's okay, and you can take it off. So hope this was helpful for you. All right, friends, we have checked in with our February goals. We are up to speed. I know what I need to do for the remainder of the month to make sure I'm on track to hit all of my goals and habits, and I feel very excited. I know that directly after this video, I need to go make my extra debt payment on my car. I hope this video was helpful and motivating and inspiring for you, and let me know down below how your goals are going for this month. I'd love to cheer you on and root for you down in the comments. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a big fat like if you liked it and got it this far. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already to join our little community here and hang out with us. We'd love to have you, and I will see you in the next video.